Hello again, people. Right, a couple of things about this particular trade and this chart. I have put the currency strength indicator back on my chart because I used to use it religiously for a quick flick through all of the currency pairs and see what looked good, and it still works. The only thing, caveat with this thing, is that later in the day it's worthless. I'm not sure of the mechanics behind how it works and what software. I guess it's probably a combination of moving averages, but I could be totally wrong there, so don't take that as read. But I have found early in the morning, when you get these quick sort of reversals, and if it's telling you you're in the right direction, as it were, like in this instance, New Zealand dollar is strong, and when I took the trade it was absolutely the strongest currency, and US dollar was weak. Then all you have to do is make sure what this is telling you corresponds with what this is telling you, not the other way around, as it were. We use the charts to take our trades. This is just a very, very sort of not weak indicator. What's the word I'm looking for? It is a very vague indicator. It's just to make you aware of what might be worth digging into more detail. The other thing I want to make this video quickly about, not really about the technical side of this trade, in fact not at all about that, but one thing I often find myself doing that I don't talk about a lot is flicking through the time frames to get an idea of what the RSI histo is telling me. Because on the face of it, this looks like we're trading a short-term reversal. We're just looking at this. A pullback to test this old supply area is switching to potentially demand, or support is acting as resistance, whichever way you look at it. I like to use this supply and demand scenario because it really reminds me of what I am actually doing and what potentially the algorithms are doing. I'll talk a lot about the algorithms, so I will mention that as well while I think of it. I recently watched a really good webinar, if you like, and there was an algo trader there who was going into quite a lot of detail, and he really did make me believe that he knew what he was talking about. And as such, when you think you found someone that knows what they're talking about, you listen. I listen. And he suggested, and I've heard this talked about many times, that the algos trade about 70% of the market. And it's a weird coincidence that if you listen to certain people, they will tell you the market trends 30% of the time, the rest of the time, at 70%, it's sideways. And sideways is what the algos absolutely love. So who knows? But I suppose trending and sideways depends on the time frame. Don't know. Fractals might just mean it works the same way every time frame. Anyway, a couple of things to think about there. The other thing I wanted to say about this particular chart, and it was going to be a lot quicker than I have made it, is if you move through the time frames, this still looks like a pullback to potentially continue in this down move. What the RSI is telling us, that the power is to the long side now. We're in the 30-minute chart, and this in fact is just a pullback, and this phenomena fascinates me. Next time frame it looks even more powerful to the long side, and a much weaker pullback. And then if we move up to H4, oh my goodness, we are not looking at any strength to the short side at all. We want to be going long on this baby. So if you're wondering whether you're in the right direction of the higher time frames, just keep checking that RSI, and then it will show you. You can clearly see what's going on. But you know how much I love the RSI, and I know a lot of you also like the RSI. So yeah, I mean, the daily chart here now is saying we had a massive pump, which is these two candles here. This was a break and close, 3 candle reversal. Oh dear, look what happened. It wasn't any real surprise. Then we've had a pullback as a result of a break of resistance, and potentially we don't know what's on the left hand side at the moment. Let's see whether we are smacking into anything. Here we have what I call a flip zone, a battleground if you like, between buyers and sellers, which is why you've got a wick there. And then we could, what I often do at this point when I'm looking to see what we are likely to target, because we're in fresh air, just keep popping down the time frames and seeing what is ahead of you. Take the scroll off. So once again, I do apologize, I have digressed on this video. So we can put a high on that red candle there. Then we can drop down another time frame. We might as well put a high on that one while we're here, and a low on the bottom of that green. There. And there. And this is what I was doing with ETH/USD yesterday to see where that was likely to have problems. So just keep dropping down the time frames, down to the daily. I haven't done this sort of video for a long while, so if some of you guys probably haven't seen me doing this, if you haven't watched many of my videos, it was a religious job. And we've got a flip zone there on the daily. Then really we need to move this over now, move it to there, and look at what H4 tells us. And that's about as far as I need to go. H4, H1 levels are really we haven't got the data for this, obviously. See if I can put the data into the chart. Apologies for this. Is it going to, are we going to see my, yes, area of interest. So another flip zone and a high there. PPZ, price pivot zone, if you like, from the James 16 boys on Forex Factory. That's it. So I can go back to my live time now, and I can see what is ahead of me. Once we break out of that level, these are all the important levels. Lots and lots of nice gaps you can see on these charts. So these gaps are pretty big. We can look at this one. If it breaks out of those two levels, it has a 60 odd pip gap there, or just under 60. That's huge for a New Zealand dollar. So there you go, guys. A couple of tips on other things that I look at on my charts. So we have ahead of us now, we have a new support area, a new supply area, which is where the algos, and this is why I truly believe the algos are looking for liquidity all the time, which is why they push on and push on until they get into these areas where people are hiding their stocks for the short trades and orders potentially for the long trades. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday, start of a new week, new working year. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.